Good night to all. Special good night to all our viewers. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you folks? Let me just check my audio. Bear with me. Just bear with me, folks. Just bear with me. Good night to all our friends. All right, so we're just testing our system. We are in a different studio tonight. We are in studio number 2. In studio number 2, studio number 1, it is not working at this time. Studio number 1, it is down for the moment, and therefore we depended on you to share and to follow, like. We're gonna have fun tonight. Again, we want to welcome all to Caribbean American News Network. Pleasant good night to those of you. Maggie, good night to you. Maria, good night. Andrea, good night. Julia, good night. Malin, good night. Gloriana, good night to you. Beautiful night to you, folks. We are in studio 2. What can I say? We cannot function in the main studio 1, where all our equipments are. We have some issues there with our main board, and so we have been working on it all day, because the good news is that we were expecting the former Prime Minister, Mr. Alan Shastner, to be with us tonight, and I'm happy that we were not able to put him up tonight, because our system is not doing too well from our end, and we are hoping to get that rectified, And the good thing tonight is that with this studio 2, the Lord has given me the wisdom, and I was able to put studio 2 together as a backup, and as you can see, comes in very handy. And it, to me, it's very easier for me, because I can see everything just in one area, unlike our first system, where I have to go through a lot of different screens and screen and everything else. But I just want to welcome you. Good night. Good night. Sarah Joseph, good night to you. Christina Alexander, good night. And Charles, good night. Good night to our family over on YouTube. I see you. To those on our Facebook page, please share. I was not able to share, because I was very much busy trying to get our system in place. As a matter of fact, I was going to abandon the show tonight, because of the first studio 1 not ready for broadcast tonight. But what can I say, folks? We're here together, and we're going to have fun. It's Monday, and once it's Monday, it is Caribbean American News Network time. It is 7:04 p.m. Here in my area. Next week, we will be on the same time with those of you who are in St. Lucia. We will be on our we will be on the same time zone, which means we'll have more fun. Soraya says, I was looking forward to listening to our great leader tonight. Wait a minute. How you folks know that he was going to be on tonight? Yes, we're still working on it. He's in preparation also for his sitting tomorrow in the House. And I would not want to distract him too much, but our great leader, Mr. Alan Shastner, will be on set with us. Let's hope that we get our main set organized, our main studio organized. Again, I'm just broadcasting from studio number 2. Thank God again for wisdom and the ability for us to have a backup studio where we can, we can be here. We can be here on the platform. Edith, how are you? God has other plan for the broadcast. It will be aired, and that is so true. Because I'm sitting here and I'm saying maybe I should not come on tonight. This my you see, I am more comfortable with the first system, Studio One, and I actually have two studio space, and I was like, nah, I don't want to try anything new, but we're here tonight, and let's see how far the broadcast will go on our second platform. But again, greetings to all, and let me just say something for any one of you. And Molly Mall, good night to you. And let me say to those of you who want to go get into broadcasting, online broadcasting, just give me a call and let me know, and I can actually help you, guide you along in setting up your online studio. I will assist you, because what we need is more voices out there, and we need to use the free press. This is what you call the free press. No government or system controls this platform. Yeah, nobody cannot take away our license. Maybe they can put us in Facebook jail, but we go to YouTube. Put us YouTube don't have any jail over there, and so there is always a way for us to come to you with our truths, our information, making you a more informed community society. So again, the news is that we have two persons that we um, we are booking. We have a booking agent, by the way, now, and very powerful individual, and he's going to ensure that we get the right guests in place, and we stay on the right subject. We stay on subject. I need to be disciplined, and therefore I had to get somebody in quickly to keep me there. Um, I want to thank my friend. I see my friend Molly Ball. Let me not get in trouble tonight. My friend Molly Ball. Um, Lucy, good night to you. My friend Molly Ball. She's on site, and she did a very good job. I'll tell you the truth. I wish I can get her back. I wish I can get her back. She did an excellent job for us. I will ever be grateful to her. I would ever be grateful. St. Omer Art Institute, good evening to you, my friend. Maybe St. Omer, you can call me and let me know the work that you do so we can have you on the platform also. But I'm going to say it again. Not that I'm begging Molly Mall to come back, but I'm begging her to please come back, because I am telling you, this woman is a good woman, and she keeps me on the straight and narrow. Although sometimes I go more on the narrow. But she keeps us, and she brought to us some very beautiful guests last year, and I'm still, enjoying. I go back to the videos. Father Albert, our friend in Canada, we need to follow up with her. And by the way, Father Albert, we will get him back on the platform sometime soon. So we have Mr. Alan Chastney sometime this week or next week, and we have Guy Joseph, who will be coming on, and we're hoping that we will also have Lincoln Pascal, who will be on, and we have a number of guests lined up. What we want to do is to refine it. We want to, not make it into a political show, but we want to speak about other issues in our society, that career, relationships, and other things that you folks can enjoy. Not every day you have the appetite for politics. I can tell you that. I really don't have it. I deliberately have the system to put on Miss Molly Mall with all her smiles and laughter over there. But I'll be praying. You can say you don't have the time or whatever it is, but I'm going to pray. Once I pray, and you're a believer, you better get on board. Get on board the ship. Cool vibes, my brother. How are you? Good to see you today. I saw you on your show. I was so happy to see you back. I really appreciate you, my brother. Looking forward to meet you one of these days. All right. But I was talking about my friend Molly Mall. So not that I'm throwing her under the bus. But let me leave her alone. She's a good woman. And I am not. As a matter of fact, let me officially on behalf of the platform, congratulate you, Molly Mall, on your new path that you're going to be heading into or have head into. May God bless you. May God guide you um, in your um, in your future endeavors. And I know the books are still there. We need to get those books out to every one of our viewers. Also, I want to let you know that our our printing press, which I have my daughter, I want to start into business. We'll be printing very shortly. I believe the first set of stuff we will be giving away, but we will be having our printry here at Caribbean American News studio. So we have Studio One, Studio Two, and our printing press. We are building bigger and better. And also for announcement, we will be on the island of St. Lucia, and we will be having live coverage around the island, and we will be there live at the convention, at the United Workers Party convention. We will be on the ground by the grace of God. All seems to be in place. And for those of you who want Pampers and stuff, those shipments are already in place also. So you have no fear. If you can see, I'm wearing my Sky FM t-shirt. Champagne gave this one to me when I met him for the first time. But folks, blessings to you. All right, blessings to you. Amen, amen. Good, good, good. All right, so let me just look at your comments and we'll go right into our discussion. Bastian, good evening. Good evening. The Bastians are from Denry. My brother is married to one of your family, I believe, there. My brother, who is a police officer there in St. Lucia. Yes, beautiful family. Indeed. All right. Sister Lauren Hippolyte, greetings to you. Now tonight we have the bad news is that, as I said, Studio One is not functioning. There's a problem with our hardware, and I cannot get any of my graphics up, no videos, and we have a number of videos. We have some really good stuff this weekend with Sister Penny and her husband, Sister Lauren Hippolyte, who went out with Miss Lester and brought smiles to her. I have all those stuff. Let me see if I can get one. If you bear with me, folks, let me see if I can get one. But good night to you all, and continue sharing the platform. My friend Marcellus, let's see if we can get I know I have one of the pictures, one of the video that I was able to get into the main system. So let's see if we can get it in, see how it's going to work. If not, we will work on our system tonight, our main system, so that we can get back in Studio One, so that we can show you the graphic and the videos from Sister Nulester, the lady that we collected monies for her surgery. She is still in our care. We are taking care of her. Sister Lauren and her husband, who teamed up with me. We are partners, brothers and sisters. We are partners in this fight, and she's on the ground, and so she was able to take a lot of supplies over to Miss Nulester this weekend, and it was such a blessing when Sister Nulester opened the stuff, the fish, even fish, man, and all kind of stuff. Plus, she's getting some delivery this week again, and God is good. And God bless you, Sister Penny, and your husband. And like I heard your husband promised Lester that, look, you are going to be her family for life. You guys have taken her into your care, and you have already pledged that she will never be hungry, she will never be thirsty, she will never be in want. You have committed yourself, and we need more persons in our society that can do just that. And so I really appreciate you, Miss Penny, and your husband. Thank you for joining with us on Caribbean American News here and partnering with us. And so may Jesus' name be praised. Let's see if we can get that video up and see if it will show. All right. Let's see if it's going to work. If it's going to work, well, this is just the one that will work.
Yeah, well, sister, I appreciate what you've been helping me with my condition. I'm not working with my medication. I appreciate what you have been doing with me. I thank you a lot, and I hope God bless you. And according to you, I will never lack of anything once you're around me. So I'm very grateful for what you have done for me. Thank you so much, my sister.
You're very
Love
welcome.
to you.
It's always a pleasure.
Okay.
Always
Thank you
a
so
pleasure.
much.
Always a pleasure.
No mention?
Yeah, well, sister, I appreciate what you've been helping me with my condition. I'm not working with my medication. I appreciate what you have been doing with me. I thank you a lot, and I hope God bless you. And according to you, I will never lack of anything once you're around me. So I'm very grateful for what you have done for me. Thank you so much, my sister.
You're very
Love
welcome.
to you.
It's always a pleasure.
Okay.
Always
Thank you
a
so
pleasure.
much.
Always a pleasure.
No mention?
So we having problems with the graphics, but we promise you that we're going to give you full some more video shots of that presentation. But I want to also let you know that Miss Penny and her husband will be distributing hamper for the Easter, and it is something that they have been doing for a number of years, and so they will be doing it um, in uh, uh, in in the Easter weekend, and uh, it's going to be big. It's going to be better, and we continue to pray that the Lord will continue to bless the Hippolytes with health and all that they desire. You know, this family is a good family, and I mean, what can I say, friends? As I said, we need more persons in our society that can help um, the other people, help people who are in need. All right, and so blessings to all. Amen. So this weekend, let's go into the news, and then as I said, we'll do another presentation once we get our system with our graphic up. That, I mean, once you're dealing with technology, you're going to have those glitches, and that's why I have a backup system, and I would maintain it so that, and this backup system, I believe we will use it in St. Lucia during the convention, and with our town hall meetings in some of the constituencies, especially Denry. All right. So let's hey, my friend Edwards. Good night to you, Edwards. Good night. Long time. Sister Edward, my friend Edwards. How is Paul? I see a lot of missed calls from Paul. I try to get him back, but I'm not getting him. Martin Francis, blessings to you. All right. So, Mr. Henry, Joachim Henry, um, got ill this weekend, and was transported to the hospital in Martinique for medical care. And so, the United Workers' Party put out a clip earlier today. The PRO of the party, Mr. Um, Spider Montut, and he is wishing Mr. Joachim speedy recovery. Let me see if I can pull that clip up. The United Workers' Party has learned that the Honorable Joachim Henry. Okay, just bear with me, folks. All right, so we're going to get that up. Again, just bear with me, folks. We'll get through the night, I promise you. We will get through the night. Yes, we will get through.
The United Workers' Party has learned that the Honorable Joachim Henry was rushed to hospital. The United Workers' Party has learned that the Honorable Joachim Henry was rushed to hospital.
Okay, so we still having issues there, but let's just go through it. So Mr. Henry got sick, got ill, and was transported over Martinique for urgent medical care. And so the United Workers' Party PRO, the organization, the party, issued a statement supporting prayer for the family and his recovery. What we saw was a lot of persons either celebrating, rejoicing, or saying, "Look, the guy is basically our enemy, and so there's no need for us to say any prayer or greetings on his behalf because he look at how they're treating Mr. Alan Chastney in the house." But I just want to say this quickly. For me, I am a believer, I'm a Christian, and therefore there are certain standards that I as a Christian need to keep. And I hope that you can bear with me that I am not um your regular person who just goes out there and say what they want, do what they want. As much as we are mortal beings subject to make mistakes, but for me, I sympathize with the family. We draw a line when it comes to death and sickness. There's a line that is drawn where we do not get caught up in wishing that this person die or wishing that this person never recover. Sickness is something, and all I respect you. I respect your position, folks. I respect everybody's position. Believe me, I respect everybody's position. But my position is that I was the first one to run into prayer on his behalf. Not because he's part of my church, our church, not because he is on the opposite side that we've got to celebrate and make all kinds of statements that that takes away sometimes the humanity from us. And so I would ask for persons to be calm and pray for the honorable member. Yes, he went into the church and disturbed and did what he did. But hey, my friend, Dr. Fletcher, my mother, yeah, good to see you. So for me, and I'm telling you, for me, and as I said, I respect everybody's position on that. But for me, I went into prayer, especially for the family. All right. And, God has a way of restoring us when we err, restoring us when we stray. And that's why I embrace a song which says, "Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love." So all of us are subject to not only decay, which is death, but all of us, we are, yes, subject to sickness. And it is not something, I am very careful when people get sick, people who don't like me, they go through hard times. I'm very cautious. And I told somebody that I'm very careful even in my prayer, because sometimes you pray for your enemies and you see certain things happening to them, and you go back and you say, "Lord, please have mercy." I'm not sure if it's because of my soft heart. Well, to each its own. But I would not want him to die. I would want him to live. I would want him to have opportunities for repentance. And I know what people are saying out there. And we got to understand what is happening in St. Lucia. St. Lucia right now is politically divided. Not only politically divided, but the political game has become so toxic. If you look at the House sitting, you look at the disrespect that the Labour Party is putting the United Workers' Party through, because, listen to me, folks, they're not just putting Mr. Alan Chastney through what they're putting him. They're putting 30-something thousand people. They are actually bullying 37,000 voters plus. Now, we see Mr. Chastney, yes, he was voted and he's the opposition leader. But you have an army of 37,000 plus strong. Let me correct myself, because I was looking at the data. I was going through the government site, the electoral department, looking at the past elections, doing my own analysis here on the platform. And very soon I'm going to put out some graphic at our next one of our programs, where we're going to look at where the United Workers' Party lost ground, why. We will go into it ourselves and do our own analysis to the paralysis. Yes, Mr. Norbert, I will never ever remember you. All right. But they are fighting against 37,000 plus another 10,000, because why am I saying 10,000? There were a lot of United Workers' Party supporters who did not go out to vote. These persons are still United Workers' Party supporters and voters. They did not go out. Many of them have not moved to any other party. They just did not go out. So you are fighting against more than, almost the amount of voters that you had to win. Huh? So it also means, for me, that the United Workers' Party is on a strong footing to win. Because once they can get their voters who did not go out, those who were disenfranchised or whatever you call it, disillusioned, discouraged, they wasn't feeling to go. A lot of people didn't feel to go. Some of them have lost their loved ones. They were in mourning. Some were in financial problems, and they saw no need. They did not feel it. And we got to respect that. Some people just don't feel when they're going through certain depressing time. Do you understand what depression is? You do not want to go outside. You don't want to be among people. You don't want to do the things that you love. And so these persons stayed home. These persons stayed home. And it does not mean, and by no means should the Labour Party take this to say that they have abandoned their party. The prediction is that that army that did not go out in the last election will show up in greater numbers. Why? Because they are feeling the pinch now in their pockets. They are seeing the divisive and the nastiness that is taking place in the House or in St. Lucia itself. They are seeing it. They are feeling it. Some of them are catching their tails. They can't go to the supermarket. I saw a photograph on Facebook, 4 snapper for $200 and something. They can't afford the basic necessities, and they will vote based on the pain that they are experiencing in their pockets. This round, that group, you're not going to be able to silence them. You're not going to be able to bamboozle them, or himpeck or humpook or whatever you call it. You're not going to be able to keep them away from heading to the polls. And what have fired up the base even more is what took place in the House last week. Those actions by the Speaker last week stir up anger in both some of the Labour supporters, independent, and the United Workers' Party, plus those who did not go out to vote. They were angry based on what they were seeing. I was disturbed. I was disturbed because, listen, even a blind man, Coco is gone, but even Coco, if he was alive, could have seen what was happening, the biasness. That was planned right here in St. Lucia, not in Dominica. It was planned right in St. Lucia. What you saw there, exactly what it was. And so the people are fed up. They're upset. They're outraged. They are fired up and they're ready to go. So if you call an election tomorrow, they're going to show up in large numbers. Why? Because they believe that they're fighting. They are fighting for the future. They're fighting for their pockets. They're fighting for the life of their family. When they see ministers eating 4 plates of food one time for dinner, for breakfast, and have it on Facebook, and you can't even eat 1 plate. You can't eat 1 plate, but they have 5 spread out for 1 person. But you have 1 plate for the entire family. And they will say to you, come vote for me. The question is, why am I voting for you? You want 5 more plates? You want more lands? You want more houses? You want to travel more to Dubai and to Africa and to India and bring nothing back? In other words, you just go on a joyride for excitement. Plus, you take your friends, your jabals, your concubines, and your cousin, your neighbor, the neighbor's dog. You take everybody over there so that they can get a ride on the government, from the government coffers. Huh? Folks, you understand what I'm saying? This is very serious. This is very serious. And I'm saying to you, this is a fight for the democracy of your nation. It is a fight for the democracy of your nation, the soul of your nation. I don't know how many of you go to the supermarket, because some of you seems to have abandoned the supermarkets and you're only eating green fig and butter according to the Prime Minister. I heard, by the way, the Prime Minister had a big party with all kind of Volrega music going on and everything else. Big music while people are dying in the streets. Big music, party, celebration. Nothing wrong with celebrating. But how can we celebrate when our democracy is on life support, where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? How can we celebrate a democracy when the Honorable Alan Shastney can't speak as a duly elected opposition leader in the House unless he's bullied and heckled by other politicians who believe that they're the kings of St. Lucia? And you have a Speaker of the House who believes that he's the Queen of St. Lucia. No respect for the 30-something plus thousand people who voted for Mr. Shastney. And I want to advise them, when you see Mr. Shastney in the House, you better see 30,000 plus people standing behind him. And if you can't see it, get some vision and see that he has an army and he's not alone. And not only that, you need to have some decency. If the man asks you for protection, it means that, and by the way, I have seen Speaker of the House asking the honorable member, do you need my protection? Mr. Andy Daniel, he would be asking, honorable member, he would ask the very same opposition leaders. The Labour Party opposition, Mr. Daniel would ask them, do you need my protection? I have never heard this speaker really ask Mr. Shastney if he needs protection, you know. You rarely hear that. The minority, one man. And while he's speaking, heckled. Not only heckled, one minister cursed, used the F word in the House, and the speaker pretended like he heard nothing, but he's hearing every word from Mr. Shastney. If Mr. Shastney whisper a word, the speaker hears. But when his Labour Party representatives cursed in the House, disrespect the House, he hears nothing. And so that is what we have out there in our society, in our politics today. It is dirty. And that's why I'm saying, United Workers' Party people, you don't have to be dirty. You got to stand on a platform of principle, truth, righteousness. And it is true, like Miss Obama say, when they go low, you go high. And if they go high, you go low. It means take a different path. You can only win election through righteousness, not unrighteousness. If you win an election with unrighteousness, you will not be able to govern in peace. And that is what is happening to the Labour Party today. They cannot function. They cannot manage the country in peace. It will constantly be war because the election was done in a very nasty way. It was done in a very nasty way. So I'm going to repeat that again. In order for you to manage or govern the country in peace, you must campaign in peace. It's called righteousness, right doing. Anytime you start with righteousness and right doing, you are empowered by God. But you must decide in your heart to do it clean, to play it clean. You're not going to allow anybody to bully you and to spit in your face. By the way, if anybody spit in my face, I am not going to turn the other cheek for you to spit in it. Because I don't know if you have AIDS, you have gonorrhea, you have all kind of nonsense. Because some of these people do some real nastiness with the devil. So if you spit on me, I'm going to throw holy water on you. Period. So my point is that and brethren, believe me when I say to you that the Labour Party will never be able to govern in peace unless they repent. Never. You see all what you see in there? The streets are crying out for blood. Every corner of St. Lucia cries out in expression. You think this is normal in the society where every day there is blood flowing on the street? On the street? Is that something normal? Is that something that you're comfortable with? Look at how the guys conduct their elections, their campaigns. Look at the lies, the innuendos, the nastiness. The blood that was pierced on some of these offices, blood election morning. And we saw pictures right there in Dennery where the guy scrubbing and throwing all kind of nastiness around the community. We saw where monies were being paid right on camera. We have the vehicle number and identity. We know who the person is. There was somebody in the front seat. We know who you are. You are paying persons to vote. You are paying, you're actually paying cash for votes. And that's against a democracy. I can understand that you're giving somebody some galvanize and you're trying to, do your little thing, but that's the strongest man tell. But when you start playing the game unfairly, and then you say to the people that Mr. Shaston is a white man, he's not one of us, he should not be voted on, and your supporters at a town hall meeting right here in Brooklyn, I heard it with my own ear, asking you if you can just change the constitution to stop basically Mr. Shaston from becoming prime minister again. Huh? That's the mindset of a nasty nation. It is a nasty, wicked nation that need to repent. Or blood will continue to be required. Because somebody got to get paid. The devil got to get paid. You can't make no deal with him and not pay him. There are many of you that will get really sick because you're not genuine in your heart. Your heart is deceitful and wicked. When you have a prime minister apologizing He was not the prime minister then, but he apologized for a man walking into a church. Not the man apologizing, he apologized if we have done something wrong. If he said, if it is unrighteousness, it is ungodly. And when you speak up, they say to you, oh yeah, shut your mouth. We in power. We win. Close your mouth. But we got to speak the truth. Because that's what would have set us free. And that's why I sit to the United Workers' Party. And I don't even understand since when you guys are into prayer. Not the United Workers' Party. And as I said, I sympathize, I pray with the family, I pray for Mr. Henry. He's a human being, he's a citizen of St. Lucia. But there are families who have been burying their dead through violence, and no prime minister, no parliamentary secretary have called for a national day of prayer on behalf of those people. No one has called for a national day of prayer on behalf of those who have lost their families with COVID-19. As a result of a match that you guys did. No outrage. You went in the house and it was like you just fly over it. You just whisper it under your ear. Condolences is too much crime. You never called for a moment of silence on behalf of those who have lost their loved ones. Not one day of moment of silence. Not one prayer. I don't care if you pray to Mary or you pray to Joseph. Not one prayer you did. I don't care if you light a candle or you light a bamboo. You did nothing for these families. And all of a sudden, now, you're calling for national prayer. National prayer. And that's the hypocrisy that must be called out. And as I said, I'm very sympathetic with the family. I feel it because I can go too. Last year, I had to get a procedure that went into my arm, straight into my heart to see what was going on there. All of us are subject to heart attacks. All of us are subject to stroke. All of us are subject to diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancer. All of us. But we got to call out the hypocrisy in the land. And it seems to me that these people think that God is their football, where they can sleep with Satan tonight. And when they feel that the Satan's throat is hands is in their throat, then they say, "Oh, please, let's pray, let's pray." Pray to who? Who are you praying to? You don't know righteousness. You don't know justice and peace. Was it righteousness in the house that you sit down and you beat all of these guys? They beat the horse even though the horse was gone. Huh? What about these poor families who can't travel to Martinique and travel to the United States for medical care? Do you not think if you had finished the new hospital that Mr. Joachim Henry could have gone there for a special service? Do you not think if you had focused on health care, and I'm not saying that the United Workers' Party had already put any health care thing in place. Yes, they did a lot in the health system. But where we need the push is with medical insurance for all, which was going to be on stream right this year. I am sure by August, every St. Lucian would have had a card for medical care. I am sure that a helicopter would have been able to land in St. Jude and take you from St. Jude straight to Martinique. I am sure you did not have to take the boat or the plane to go there. But only when it hits home that everybody's calling for prayer. Everybody, I mean, folks, I'm a little upset. And I got to calm down before I get sick myself. But this hypocrisy must be called out. And I'm not going to be no hypocrite here. I ain't going to be no hypocrite. I'm a minister of the gospel. I go to foreign land, open clinics from Jamaica, Guyana, all these places. I understand what I'm saying. I'm not ignorant. And what you focus on is the CCJ. Can the CCJ put food on these poor people tables? At this time, we are just getting out of a crisis. We're not even getting out yet. We're in the center of the storm. And the CCJ's priority? You do not even have proper legal system in your country. You have court cases that are sitting there for many years, 4 or 5 years, that you cannot even deal with, backlog, but you're fighting for the CCJ. Instead, you set up your shop in-house. You take care of your legal system on the ground first. You go way ahead of the local courts and the backlogs and everything else. They need more lawyers. Not more lawyers, but they need more judges, magistrate, small claim judges to help clean up the system. When you clean up the system, then you can start talking about the CCJ. Huh? And I know what you guys are doing, and I'm going to expose it tonight. You guys' agenda is to turn St. Lucia into a republic. I suspect that's why you have not appointed a governor general. Well, I'm just saying, I'm just asking the question, is that true? I got to watch my mouth too. I can't say what I don't know, but I mean, as a human being, you start speculating because you're lacking the information. What is the rush for the CCJ? You're going to appoint a president soon and go into a republic? That's what the rush is? Who is going to be the president? Mr. Chasney? Sorry, Mr. Kenny Anthony? Who is going to be the president? Ernest Hilaire? Is that why Ernest Hilaire is acting so holy now? Very nice fella. I've never seen him so nice in my life. Ernest Hilaire don't lie anymore. He's very nice. He don't curse out. He don't outburst. You don't see the anger in his face anymore. Is he being groomed for something? Huh? So, folks, I am just here asking you the questions. What is the rush for the CCJ? Let's talk about Lucilec, if you want to talk about CCJ. My question to the government, have you met with Lucilec lately? Have you met with the supermarket chains in St. Lucia? Have you met with the Water and Sewerage Authority? Have you asked them to ease off on poor families in St. Lucia? I got a call yesterday, I believe, last night. The woman used to pay $120 in light bill. The woman got an increase from $120 to $300 in light bill. She ain't using nothing more or nothing less. Same equipment in her house. She did not extend the house. She's not having crusades. She's not giving Adventist electricity for their tents at night. She don't have a business running all night. But her electricity bill moves from $120 to $300 a month. Food bill from $200 to $300 to $800. Who can survive in the island? The CCJ can come and help. The CCJ don't care a hoot about you and what you eat or drink. A matter of fact, most of you are under the sound of my voice would not see the CCJ. You would not benefit from it. Half of you would not benefit from it, if not all. Who will benefit from it is Ernest Hilaire, Philip J. Pear, and all the other cabals. They're the ones, the big shots, the business people. You cannot even get to Castries to pay a lawyer. You can't even pay the bus to get to the lawyer's office. Is the CCJ you're going to go to? What the people of St. Lucia is concerned about is their pockets, their food, their families, their electricity bill, their water bill, their gas bill. Everything is bloody high in the country. And the CCJ, you guys cussing off Mr. Shaston in the House. You guys have not even spent an entire session in the House pleading on behalf of the poor people in the country, begging the hospital, the supermarkets and Lucilec to drop their bills. A matter of fact, they increase it. Under you guys, they increase. Everything has gone up. And I ain't not supposed to come here and speak because I should be afraid that you guys would take me to the CCJ. Well, I'm just kidding. You gotta get me to CCJ. You gotta come to the United States and take me to Washington, to the High Court. But let's talk about Lucilec. So my question is, and you St. Lucians, be wise, be smart, because you are feeling it. Many of you are feeling it. Let's do an exercise tonight. I want you folks to post your electricity bills on the platform. I'm going to put it live on the main screen. Look, we have here, who is that? Angeli. She says, my electricity bill moved from 300 to 700. How can this woman survive? Do you know what is $700 to pay an electricity bill? Folks, read your screen. I leave it right there for you to see. From 300 to 700. It sounds like she has a hotel. My lady, you're running a Airbnb or whatever it is. $300 to $700. You know how much I pay for electricity? $23 last week. Well, I have solar panels, so sorry. Let me just take that back. And on the electricity bill, I am sure that there's VAT. Yes, VAT in your skin. Folks, don't be afraid to post your thing. And don't talk about Flow. Flow have no respect for the people of St. Lucia. You pay for a certain amount of gigabytes and they give you what they want. Service interruptions. You can't even watch Caribbean American news properly. You're paying every month and you can't even sit down and enjoy a little movie on Netflix. You're paying for the service and they cut you off if you don't pay. They cut you off, folks. Put up your bill. And some of you deserve to cry because you listen to all the lies. And I heard many of you talk about Shasta is a white man. The white man was crying on your behalf to the electricity company and the water company. The white man cried and begged the National Insurance Corporation to assist those who were not even contributing. Those who were not even contributing. And some of you very crooked. You're working and you don't want to pay a cent in taxes or a cent in NIS contribution. Where's my money? Where's my money? You had put money? Did you put money? Huh? Question amade. But you know what you do? You got the money, you vote Mr. Shaston out. You know you didn't put $1 there. You didn't put $1. You fishermen. I'm very disappointed in you all. Some of you don't pay $1 in anything except gas tax. And maybe that's why Mr. Pear not moving it for y'all, because y'all ain't paying nothing. Look, Miss Morris says here, imagine a parcel of barren salt is $6.20 now. Something we used to pay $2 something for. So how can salt move from $2 to $6? Barron is a local St. Lucian company. Barron can't respect the people and just count their losses for a while. Some of these companies have made millions of dollars, billions of dollars throughout the years. They can't say now, let's just keep this thing under control, man. We're going to take the blow for a year. We're going to lose $1 million, but let we help the poor people. They're not saying that. They're bleeding you all. They take the opportunity, and they're even selling the backs to you all now. Johnny Boy Ashley is a bagler. And now I realize what they're doing is that they're downsizing the same product that you used to pay $20 for. They downsize it and they jack up the price. Smaller bottles, and you're paying more money. Let's talk tonight, brethren. Let's talk. Let's talk about unrighteousness. It is unrighteous. You hear me? It is unrighteous when you have poor people cannot buy proper food for them to eat, and they can't even buy salt. Since when you paying $6 for salt? Salt was the cheapest thing that you could have buy. That's why a lot of people have high blood pressure. That was the cheapest thing that you could have bought in St. Lucia. Salt and green fig. Após o bas même acheter green fig. And you're telling me that we're supposed to keep quiet and watch you guys fight in the house while the people outside are hungry. You are fighting because your belly full. And then guess what? The same Mr. Joachim said the last time, oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the scrumptious meal. The people outside can't even eat a scrumptious meal. And every time they call the house sit-in and they cuss each other off, they go and they eat the best of the best. Can you not wake up, people? Can you not open your eyes and see what is happening to you? You guys are focusing on the wrong things. Zopani mess. Zopani. A lot of people don't have manners, when you look at it in that country. Ashai Zopani, y'all don't have manners. Ashai is ordinarily for. I hope I use that word properly. Zopai is Zeusav. Okay, Cleopatra. She says Lucy Lexstaff stated that there's an increase from 75 cents to $1. So from 75 cents to $1 a unit. But electricity bills are 3 times more. If we do the maths, the increase is 25 cents, 25%, but bills are showing a $200 increase. What is this? The cost of a barrel of oil is now $77. We need to stand up to this government. Now look, she says that there's an increase. Lucy, is there an increase, Lucy? Government of St. Lucia, is there an increase in electricity? Can we have that debate in the House? Just the same passion you guys had, Mr. Speaker and all the others in the House. The same passion you have. My question is there an increase of electricity in St. Lucia? Was the people informed? Did you send out letters to the people? Now we have Maggie Hunt. Let's read her story here. Good night, Brother Garfield. I think you should go back to St. Lucia and run for Prime Minister if you have St. Lucia people at heart, because it looks like that you can do better. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know what to say. I am pleading on behalf of the citizens of St. Lucia, and my friend is telling me to go back to St. Lucia because I can do a better job than the Prime Minister. Folks, I don't know what to say. I lost words. Miss Hunt, you knock the wood, you knock every piece of wood out my head. Because this goes beyond political party right now. Because both black and white are suffering. Both Labour, UWP, and Independent, every human being on the island of St. Lucia who is not a bourgeois, they are suffering. Who is going to speak on their behalf? The politicians? Or half of the Christians are silent, they're hiding. They're not saying anything not a word on behalf of the poor people. Not a word. And here am I as a voice. Here I stand as a voice on behalf of the people. The Bible, my Bible that I read, says to me, blessed is the man who stands on behalf of the poor and the needy. And here I am standing. And I'm being ridiculed, basically. Who will speak on their behalf? If everything that we see is about my party and your party, who is going to stand on behalf of these poor families? Do you know what Sister Lorraine and her husband had to do this week for a poor family on the island? And there are many more that are calling them daily for food supplies. Do you know that? Do you understand what it is to be hungry? Do you understand what it is to have your electricity cut with your food in the fridge? Do you know what it is to lose that home that you work all these years for? Do you understand the plight of the people that you would make such a statement and pulling me into the show? Don't pull me in. I am well taken care of. I can eat, I can sleep. I have insurance. Don't pull me in the argument. I'm just a messenger. But there are real people out there who cannot speak like me. And by the way, those of us who are keeping the most noise, our bed's already set, you know. Do we think about these poor people, these poor families? Do we really understand the plight of these families in the country with our political hackalism? Honestly, Hunt, you throw me off there. I thought better of you. I thought better of you, man. Maria, a gram of plantains for a grain of plantain, 4 grains of plantain for $5. Honestly, Hunt, you throw me off. I thought better of you. You know, I know you. I know your family. I mean, I thought better of you. I thought better of you, man. You disappoint me really bad. You hurt me, in other words. Maybe because you're not getting those calls from these hungry families. Families who want to brink, giving up on life, want to take their life because they can't make it. They have their children to feed. The children have to go to school. Some of them have grandchildren because the daughter can't afford, so they send the poor child by granny to get some milk, to get something to eat, some little breakfast. Because the child got to go work at S&S for $5 an hour, or not even 5, sorry, for $1 an hour, God forbid, if that's true. And you're telling me, you're pulling me in and telling me to go in sarcasm? And that's why the Bible asks, who will go? Who will go? Not the Christians. The Christians are happy in their whole. They're happy. Those Christians are happy. But there are families out there who have no one in America to send barrels to them. Nobody to give them a sweet. My Lord, good God from Zion. Oh, God, preserve me. And Hotel says manufacturing company says electricity is a killer in St. Lucia because of the gas. There is no need for the gas prices to be high. I'm going to say that again. There is no need at this point for our gas prices to be high. No reason. When you put, and by the way, these government don't understand that if you put pressure on the gas, that the manufacturing companies and the food companies, transportation sectors will have to bring up their prices. Do you not know that? Folks, let me read some of your comments again. Dr. Fletcher, we in St. Lucia know now that chefs can do better than those who are still asking. So true. Joseph, they say Guy is a volley. They better learn how to volley better than Guy. Well, that's all I've been hearing, that Guy is a volley, Guy is a volley. But when I look at Guy coming through the U.S. Embassy, nobody wants to lock him up. Guy has been in St. Lucia. Nobody can lock him up yet for stealing. Government has been in office for over 2 years. They can't lock him up as yet. So I don't know where he's stealing from, how he's stealing. Guy got to be one of the best volleys in St. Lucia. Because all the other volleys, they catch them, some of them in jail. May your power catch this one. Guy Joseph seems to be a very smart volley. Because, I don't know. Donovan, good night. Good night to you, my friend. Oh my gosh. All right. There is no transparency with those hungry people in there. Martin Francis. Woman almost knocked the devil out of me there. By the way, the devil knocked me, but she almost knocked the air out of me. Because honestly, I can't believe that. I can't believe somebody would do that tonight. Dr. Fletcher, fair is why they are quiet. Folks, I'm reading your comments, so please write them as soon as you can. Veronica, getting good service. Imagine not even electricity company you can get proper service from. Water company. Wasco sending chocolate for you. I don't know if they still do that. When I was in St. Lucia, they used to send chocolate. And when they send the chocolate for you, they send a bill for you. And you look at your bill and you're saying, but I have never received water over a month now. And why is my electricity bill so high? You have been ripped off all your life in the country by these utility companies. Why? Because the governments are afraid to stand up to them and say to them, stop it. If I have to become any politician in that country, I would first, listen to me, I would say to these guys, stop your nonsense. Stop it. Stop it. Leave our poor families alone. If you don't send water, don't send bill. If you have interruption in your internet every 2 days, send half of the bill. And it's time for people to start taking these companies to court. You all have the CCJ now. See how that will work out for you all. Joycelyn Fletcher, ignore this boy and do your thing. Don't allow Maggie to disturb you. Sam memory. Sylvia, thank God for your voice, Brother Garfield. Sylvia, I will ever be a voice. I will not be intimidated by those Christians who are coming after me. For what? They putting bread on my table? I know why I'm called for this time. I'm called to do what I'm doing here at this time. And I'm not going to shy away. For what? And I tell you, if I join the Labour Party and I'm doing this for them, listen to me. All you see those so-called people that saying I'm not supposed to be talking and blah, 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 they would be cheering me on. So I'm not even worried with them. I'm not even worried. But let's get back to our topic, folks. Let's get back to the topic. So, no help for the poor families. No help. When you look at what is happening in your politics, it is all about getting my boy into a position. I heard tomorrow that they're going to the House and they're going to change the Constitution, or they're going to do some amendment again to allow the Deputy Speaker to be chosen from a non-elected person. You know what that is? They're setting it up for the Republic, man. It's coming. When they set up their boys, if you all don't go out, when that bell ring, when this, I tell you, it's fini. C'est ça pas aller. Ek fe bagay zo. You're finished. Huh? You think it's a joke? You remember what they did to Mr. Shaston? They said, oh, you did not elect a deputy speaker. So when they came in, they said, yeah, we will elect one. Guess what they did? They elected one. But guess what they're doing now? That was just a show. Now they want to remove him, give him a ministerial position, and bring in one of their boys from the outside because they don't want to lose a minister. And I remember, they cuss shots now. They say, "Oh, you don't. None of you want to be. All of you want to be ministers. All of you want to be ministers. All of you want to be ministers." Bunch of hypocrites. Politicians, man, I'm telling you, what do you do with them? I don't know why the Catholics allow some of them to come to the church and take communion. Y'all should ban them from your church. Don't let them come in there during the don't even let them come for funeral service. Let them stay by the door. Y'all don't even put ash on their forehead. Don't put ash on their forehead. They need to be banned. Because you can't be doing these things to the poor families. You can't do these things to poor families. You can't. You should not. You should not. And now here in the United States, somebody is right. Augustine says it's expensive to make a barrel. It's expensive for some people. And I would advise them to take too much of the pantry stuff to send down because those things are full of sodium and all kind of cancer-causing stuff. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. So you don't have proper health care. Government officials can fly anywhere for medical care, anywhere at all. Ralph Gonsalves got his head burst in St. Vincent. He run over to Barbados because he can't speak French. So he run Barbados instead of Martinique. There's fundraisers in Denver for a woman who needs medical care. She cannot travel to Trinidad. She cannot travel to Martinique. She cannot travel to Barbados. She's stuck with St. Jude, and St. Jude run out of this, run out of that. They don't have bed. They don't have bed covers. They put man and woman together. The ceiling falling down, rain falling. They have bucket catching water all over the place. And guess what? Nothing for that. So hot. Poor woman in Dennery can't access medical care. She got to sell pork and sell chicken, and she got to beg, and some of them she's bum your nipple fair for medical help because things are tough. And the only persons who have access to proper health care is those who are in government position. Isn't that not a shame? And that's why you St. Lucians need to stand up and demand better. Get away from the party colors that are blinding you. And look at what is needed in your country. Guys, use your brain. And I'm asking you the question. I'm asking you. And this is the kitchen table discussion we're having. Can you right now, you woman with cancer, you woman who have your medical problems, fibroid and all kind of issues, can you just go to the hospital and get care? The answer is no. I'll answer for you. My other question is, can your politician get help when they have cancer, diabetes, heart problems, stroke, and everything else? Can they get it? Yes, they can get it outside. And what you do is mepui ou ka jiwe yon a lot ou ka fait tout ka de bêtises et ou pas même ni health insurance. Ou pas sa même acheter mahe et ou ka jiwe moun. Huh? Ou pas même ni electricity. And how do I know that? Because you don't iron your clothes. Everybody can see you don't have electricity. By the way, that was a joke. To a movie. Caribbean American News, you're on the air, brother.
Night, sir. How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, brother. Hey.
You know, man,
Come on, baby.
you know, Mr. Garfield, let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
And I think you know, if St. Lucians would just listen, if they could, they should just listen to Reflections with an interview by Robert Lee and Sir John Compton. They'll be amazed at what Sir John, all what he said in that reflection is happening right now.
That's right.
Wouldn't you believe that? I couldn't believe how Sir John figured that out before he died. He passed away.
My God.
May his soul still rest in peace. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yep.
And it is so hard. It is so hard to sit back and see what these guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And not what they're doing. They have intellectuals battering for them too.
Yeah.
You know, I give you one example before I leave. So
Mm-hmm.
the WTO lady
Mm-hmm.
that came and she was the speaker.
Yep.
Would you ever imagine the way the WTO treats the Caribbean islands, and she's giving them a speech for our independence? You ever thought about that?
Listen to me.
I'll give you another one.
Mm-hmm.
So Beckles, the Barbadian Beckles,
Yep.
that I knew in Barbados when I was a little boy growing up, when I was working in the bank down there,
Mm-hmm.
coming to St. Lucia and giving a speech to St. Lucia, and he starts off real nice. We have a beautiful place, and as he goes along, his innuendos are short-lived. I don't know if you listen to his speech.
Yeah.
But I like to, sometimes I sit back, Garfield, and I listen to these speeches 3-4 times. Can he speech, you know something, Garfield?
Yes, sir.
Kenny would have been, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Kenny would have been a brilliant leader after Sir John. But you know what happened to him?
Talk to me.
He was a failure.
Yeah.
A failure.
A lot of people don't think so.
A man who people don't think so.
A lot of people.
Listen, these are the words. I sat down with some people of the higher echelon
Mm-hmm.
in society, professional people, doctors, lawyers, and I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
They share the same feeling. He has been a failure for St. Lucia. And anytime he fails, he runs and hides. he hibernates, and then after he comes out like a hybrid, as if he just resurrected,
Yeah.
and he does what he has to do, and then when he gets slam bang or slam dunk like the basketball
Yeah.
slam dunk, you don't hear from him at
You
all.
don't hear. Yeah.
That's the kind of leader we have.
Yeah, well,
So
just
that we had
just
in
look
the
at
past.
Viewfort, CP,
When he fight-
ET. Just look at
Yeah, talk to me.
Just look at Viewfort. Look at the condition of Viewfort. He was prime minister. This guy was minister of finance, and look at the look at the state of Viewfort.
That's a shame, you know.
It's a shame.
Mr. Garfield.
Yes.
Doesn't that bother you sometimes?
Oh my God. My
You
God.
know, to see a man who's supposed to be an intellectual.
Mhm.
You know, he don't like people to call him a constitutional lawyer. He like people to say a professor that teaches constitutional law. I tell you, I heard it from his own mouth.
But where was
You
Mr.
know,
Kenny Anthony when the
don't
speaker
talk
was
on
making
people.
all those boo-boos?
It's time. Listen, brother. You know, Brother Garfield.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how people in the diaspora are feeling, but St. Lucia is in a mess, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's a gentleman. I don't want to knock anybody that's sick,
No, go ahead.
but this is a gentleman, the Minister of Health, and two former Prime Minister. You know that they're trying to get 3.5 million now to do reconstruction of St. Jude again.
Mm.
You understand? And the gentleman gets sick. You know, God help him for that.
Mhm.
Everybody, he said he wants everybody prayers.
Yeah.
Well, you know, can't blame him. You know, life is like that. You have to speak to the Almighty
Yep.
when you are down, deep down. You understand? And he flies to another country with a helicopter, and they fly him. Obviously, they have to go on a helipad to drop him off with emergency services.
Yeah.
And we have a hospital there with a helipad. We're going to have a helipad with all the necessary features. But you notice he never went to OKU,
No.
and we have a hospital, very expensive hospital. You know that, Tapio.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself, why didn't he go to Tapio?
Yeah.
You know what basically I came up with the whole conclusion.
Mhm.
Our health in St. Lucia is a disaster, brother. You understand? And I'm glad people like you who are advocates, you know, and with that civil way of putting it towards the people.
Yeah. And you
You
too.
understand?
You do an excellent job yourself.
I thank you.
Yeah.
But you know, I know sometimes, brother Garfield, I know a lot of people don't like. I come out by using names, but I'm beginning to slow down on it.
You're trying to be nice,
I'm
right?
beginning to-
You're trying to be nice.
I'm beginning to. I'm going to try to be nice now, and still be a no mercy person both ways. NO and
No, because
KNOW.
my friend, it's just
So
foolishness
anyhow,
happening
brother,
right now.
I listen, let me tell you, I'm listening to you like as usual all night long,
Thank you, my
and
friend.
I usually go through your past things too, you know,
Yeah,
because
appreciate that.
I like to pick up on research, and I like to pick up on every little something I missed out on.
Yeah.
You know, I do that 3-4 o'clock in the morning till 5. You know,
Wow, that's good. Yeah.
and that's how I furnish my show by listening to other people,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
I want to know if what I'm saying is wrong. You know,
I think
Brother
you're well
Garfield.
informed. I think you're well informed. I listen to you, and I think you need to be on a bigger platform too. You need to, we need to get your voice out there, because you're an informed guy.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. But Brother Garfield, you see the trick they do for the CCJ. Let me just give that one.
Yes, go ahead.
They have town hall meetings, and they never let people like me know they have town hall meetings.
With the CCJ,
And
oh, the
at these
CCJ,
town
right?
races,
Yeah.
yes, the
Yeah.
town hall meetings they have. After it's finished, I say, what? I missed that with
Yeah.
all these high powers inside there. I really missed that.
Yeah.
Maybe, Brother Gabriel, maybe the good Father Lord is saying, you better not go there.
Maybe they might put you out.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Because the power they have there is unbecoming. I couldn't believe it. But anyhow, thank you so much. Give me.
I really
some time
appreciate
to-
your call, and you know, it's a pleasure having you. It's a pleasure.
Oh
having
yes,
you.
man. I must say, I really dig your way, which is the American journalistic and host way.
Man, listen
That
to
is
you.
the trick.
You, baby, you do much better than me, man.
No. You have all the Brother Garfield.
Yes,
You have all the accesses there. You know all the way to put your graphics together.
I coming down to
Oh,
help
man,
you all
would I-
guys
if I
soon. You
had
know,
that,
Sky FM will be the same
great.
soon.
I love that.
Yeah, Sky FM will have the same
I hope
quality.
so.
Yes. I promise
I'm
that I would have done something.
champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm awaiting that. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. My
That would
brother.
be great.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening.
You
Good
too,
night.
my friend Edie. Thank you. Yes.
Bye.
Folks, that was a beautiful call. I kind of remember the number for online because the other system is down. But if you want to call, folks, please call. Let's go through some of the comment there. But Viewport in itself is a mess, and that's just the truth, you know. But my concern, as I said, folks, is really the cost of living in St. Lucia. And what you hear is that there's nothing we can do. The world, everybody else, crime, the very same thing. The world. Yes, there is something happening around the world, but at least you are elected at least to do something in your country to make the lives of the people a little better. You might not get it perfect. We're not saying that. That's not what we're saying. But at least you can make an effort to deal with the price of cooking gas, the price of gas for the fishermen. You promised them, by the way, that you will remove the VAT on gas. You promised them that, and those in Dennery voted because of that promise. They felt that it was a burden for them. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Another set of people voted because they were promised, look, we're going to triple, we're going to give you $1,500. That's what they heard. But what you did is that you played wood game with them to say to them, no, that's not what I said. I said I would. But you're in government now. Why don't you do it? Then you said you said to the Alan Chastney administration at the time, why don't you take the loan and give it to the people? The people don't eat roads. Take the money, all the loans you all get. You all take all the money. You and guys steal the money. Why don't you give the people the money so that they can eat it? People are hungry. They need Netflix. Some of the people don't even have electricity. What are they doing with Netflix? Connecting it to your brain? Huh? You promised the people. And the people didn't understand that, and many of those people on the island, they have never gone through such a pandemic before. They had no understanding about it because you were busy confusing them. You were saying to them, "Oh, no, there's no COVID-19 in St. Lucia, and the government just want to hijack the elections." Those are what I was hearing. I followed it closely. You said, yeah, there's no pandemic in St. Lucia. No, man, no. We can protest. We want to go to the beach. Look, the white people on the beach. Why we can't go? Oh, the white man is whole. Oh, where's the democracy? And then you had the Black Lives Matters. Black Lives Matters. Black Lives Matters. Because the white people on the beach and we can't go on the beach. We can't get on the beach. And so no COVID-19. No COVID-19. And you got confused. You thought that the government just wanted to hold you hostage, not understanding that your life and your livelihood was being protected at the same time. Caller, you on the air. Welcome to Caribbean American News.
Good evening, Brother Garfield. How are you?
Good evening, my friend. I am blessed and highly favored. And
Very
upset.
good, very good, very good. I'm happy. Brother Garfield, I am again calling on, I know we have people listening both on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
I am calling on people of St. Lucia to start standing up to this government. And I am calling on people to start standing up because St. Lucians, it is just a matter of time before you can't feed your family if you still can.
Yeah.
It is just a matter of time before you can stop paying. You can't pay your utilities. Yeah. It is just a matter of time before your life starts breaking down before your very eyes. Yeah. Are we all going to wait until that happens before we say enough is enough? This is the point where we must say enough is enough. Enough is enough. WASCO, as you've said earlier, and I'm reiterating, WASCO bills gone up. Electricity gone up by 25%. However, we're paying $200, $300, $400 more. Some people $600 more in electricity. 25% of your bill, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
However, the 25% ends up being hundreds of dollars. That's nonsense. If oil on the world market has gone down, why are we paying these for electricity? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yep.
St. Lucian, something else is. I must say, I wish Joachim Henry all the best with his health. This is health. We don't play with health.
Yeah.
On another note, let me tell you, St. Lucian, when this happens to any one of us normal people, and I say normal, layman, if you want to call it that, right?
Yep.
We do not have the option of hopping on a helicopter and heading on a medical helicopter and heading to Martinique, landing right there and being seen to immediately by anyone, any doctor in Martinique.
Yeah.
However, the politicians have that because we have given them that. The taxpayers' money is what's paying for that.
Yeah.
All right, but we who are paying the taxes, we who are paying everything above board, everything is sky high, 200% and 300%, 400% increase. We do not even have the medical facilities we need for us to survive on this island.
That's right.
And medical is so expensive. And I know because I'm going through a difficult situation with one of my closest family member, let me put it that way.
Yep.
Medical is sky high on this island. People, we cannot wait. What we say, we have 3 more years? In 3 more years, St. Lucia is going to be completely destroyed. Destroyed by, and I say 15 plus 1 man. We have to pay in excess of $75,000 for Claudius Francis right now. And I'm hearing $155,000. I do not know the figure.
Yeah, because he had 2 other lawyers there.
That's right. So we're paying in excess of $100,000, maybe $155,000 for the Speaker of the House for his ego. We are paying for his ego right now. We have paid for Joachim to board a helicopter and his medical in Martinique.
Yeah.
Do we get that from our government?
Yeah.
Wake up, St. Lucians. We had a government who was doing it, who was about to do it for us. And what did we do? We made the biggest mistake of our lives. Not me. Not me. I can firmly stand there and say not me.
Yeah.
Because anytime Labour Party is in power, St. Lucians are taxed and taxed. They're taxing government. It is about time we stand up. Blood is being shed on our streets every day. Every day. Do you hear one of these people saying, I sympathize, I empathize, I understand, accept my condolences to their families? No, they are heartless. They are heartless. They don't care about the people who are paying the taxes to make this country run. The same people, they do not care about us in no way, shape, or form. And if one SLP can call and say what this government has accomplished in the almost 2 years that they've been there, I would clap my hands and say, okay, understood. Understood. Anything that works for the betterment of the people. And please don't call me and tell me CCJ. Because our lower court in the land is in shambles.
Yeah.
I should ask this question. Should we go replicate a business that is failing? Don't we have to ensure that business is at its maximum performance before we replicate it and build another one like it? What are we doing? Creating more havoc in this country?
Yeah.
The people of St. Lucia need to open their eyes. We need to stand up to this. We cannot continue, guys. We cannot continue, or else it will take a new government 20 years to fix St. Lucia. Not 5, not 10, not 15, 20 years to fix this broken St. Lucia.
Yeah.
We need to come out and speak out.
Yeah.
People, y'all are feeling the pinch and y'all are just getting angry and angry and angry. And I know the power is in that finger. That hand that we used to vote and that finger that we wet with ink after. However, the power is before the voting. We have that power to stand up to this government and say enough is enough. We don't need this anymore.
Yep.
Too much is happening. Too much. And then we have a government who's creating positions for their friends. Continuously, every job that is formed under SLP is for one of their friends, one of the people who campaigned for them, a child of a person who has campaigned, a nephew of this person, the nephew of the prime minister, the brother of this, the brother of that. Where are our young people? Young people, Shasta came in and created jobs through ITEL BPO and that other company in V44, the Southern Kids. And he wasn't finished. He was only just beginning. Have we seen one job created under SLP for young people? How many of us in this country are unemployed? Maybe I should ask that people go under the supporters of the UWP page.
That's right.
And write unemployed. Unemployed.
Because we don't know. We have not gotten the figures, right?
We haven't gotten the figures for the 2 years. It's 2 years since SLP has been there almost, and we have not gotten any figures from them. We are paying 3 times, 4 times the amount of VAT because all goods have grown 3 and 4 times their prices, the original prices. That means the 12.5% VAT has grown by 3 and 4 times. It is 12.5% of the value of the cost of that item. That means this government is collecting much 3 and 4 times more in VAT than the UWP government picked up. Where is that money? Who are the Russians that we sold passports to? Who are these people? How many of them did we sell our passports to? At what price?
I think we should
And
get
were
some
they making
information tomorrow.
investments in St. Lucia?
We should get some information tomorrow
Sorry?
in the house.
If we should, we're hoping that we do.
If they're not busy cussing off Mr. Chastney.
Precisely, because that is what they're good at. That is all they can do. If we pay attention, we don't know how many passports were sold and to whom. Investment is how those people get those passports. Have we seen any new investments in this country? So why were our passports sold to them? And for how much? And how much money have they collected in that lockbox? Or maybe I should say an open basket?
Well,
open box?
I heard they were looking for an actual lockbox all over the office.
Well, they opened the lockbox, right? So now they open our country to the Russians and everything. So much so that the United States had to warn them and they had to stop.
Well,
however, the damage has been done.
Well, they finally told us that they found a few $1 million that Chastney left there. I thought they said they couldn't find the lockbox. There was no money.
Well, that's what they said. I want to say something to the persons who think that Kenny Anthony was such a good prime minister. Let's go back to 2016. That election, 2016, prior to that election, shortly before the election, may I remind everyone that Kenny Anthony was being interviewed by J.D. Japierre. And this is the man who said, after being in governance for so long in St. Lucia, who said something happened in St. Lucia. He doesn't know what happened. Something happened in St. Lucia. They have sent us to get our financial house in order. We cannot borrow any money, etc., etc., etc. Chastney came in. Did you hear Chastney crying about Kenny Anthony did not leave money in the treasury? The country was empty. Chastney had to be innovative, had to get up, work, and find ways and means as a leader of a country.
I think the man is a genius.
To find the money to create
because
all the
every dollar that was needed, he was
finding
it, he was getting it.
He was finding every penny.
Yep.
Where Kenny could not. Kenny was a failed prime minister. He did not even know what happened in St. Lucia. That is how much he didn't mind St. Lucia's business. He had no idea what happened in St. Lucia. Something happened.
Something happened.
They've asked us to get our financial house in order. So for all the persons who think that Kenny was such a great leader, may I remind you of what Kenny Anthony said before he was voted out. And may I remind you that SLP was squeezing blood out of stones, out of St. Lucians in 2015, 2016. That was implemented at 15%. You know how many small businesses were closed? People, I am reminding you of this. You know how many small businesses had to shut their doors because they could not handle 15% VAT?
Wow.
They could not deal with it. It was too high.
Wow.
Our economy contracted under Kenny Anthony. We had our licenses were increased. Water was increased. Remember the desilting of the dam? They put a levy on the water.
Yep.
Water bills were increased.
Yep.
The price of gas was increased. Groceries were starting to increase. People, remember why you voted Kenny Anthony out of office? Remember St. Lucians were crying. The unemployment rate was so high. This is the man who had promised us $100 million into the economy, which never made that economy. Immediately, he said, immediately after getting into office, I will invest $100 million into the economy. Did we ever see that $100 million solution? And you guys have such a short memory that you voted his deputy, who has Marsha in such a state, who cannot speak English, who does not know his right foot from his left foot, who cannot answer one question he's asked, cannot answer a question. He has never responded to a question. He beats all around the bush. He has no idea how to run this economy. We voted this man back. We voted SLP back in St. Lucians. We need a belt.
Yep.
You guys need some licks. And for the young people who do not know politics in St. Lucia, who voted this government in, let me ask you to go to your parents and your grandparents and other people in this society and ask them what happens under the Labour Party. You're feeling it now. It's your first time really feeling it because you voted for the first time. Ensure you don't make that mistake again.
Can I ask you a question? Is it true that you have to pay VAT on formal services?
I believe so. You've got to pay on the actual caskets, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay the VAT on that.
Wow. Wow. So
yes. So when people die,
you get taxes in life, and when you're dead, taxes in your skin until you're gone.
That's right. And may I tell St. Lucians as well? I'm jumping from one thing to the next because there's so many things to speak of.
Tonight
may I also remind St. Lucians that Auntie Emma, that was at the NIC, right, has changed how pensioners get looked after when they fall sick. So if anybody who works for the government or works for any company is making less than $500, I believe it's $500 or $600. I do not want to give a figure and I'm wrong. So it's anywhere between $500 and $600. If you are making that in pension or any more than that in your pension, you do not get any support from NIC when you fall ill. So imagine paying NIC for 40 years, let's say 35 years of your life, and then you have now retired and you've fallen ill and expecting that, oh boy, I have my NIC payments there. That can come in handy. If you're making $700, if you're making $650 in pension, anything above, I think, 500 EC dollars, you do not get any help from NIC. Now, how many persons in reality are making $500 in pension in St. Lucia?
I got to look that up.
It's a very slim margin. Pension is a third of your actual salary.
At the Foundation, who just came out of retirement.
Yeah, but is the person making $500 as pension? Because that is the only way you will get some help from medical assistance from NIC. So that means you would have been working for $1,500, $1,500. That figure just keeps coming back up. Huh? Yeah. Something about the $1,500.
Yep.
You'd have to be making $1,500 in a salary all these years, right?
Yeah.
Retire on 1.5, and then your pension is a third of that 1.5, which is $500. That is the only way NIC would help you with your medical when you fall sick as a retiree.
We have a
Tell me
viewer-
if there is anything right about this.
We have a viewer who is saying, Albert is saying, pension for government workers now stands at 50% of last active salary.
What did they say?
Pension for government workers now stands at 50% of last active salary.
Can the person show that in their pension?
I don't know.
Can the person show that in their pension? Because my advice from NIC
Mhm.
is your pension is a third of your actual salary that you retired from. So if you were making $1,500, $500. If you're making more than $500 or $600, you do not get any help from NIC after paying NIC for 35 years of your life.
We have Wilson.
Now, tell the person.
Yeah, but we have Wilson saying now, and I think it's just switching back to the VAT on formal expense. Chris Wilson over on YouTube is saying, but remember, Shas removed the VAT from formal expenses, and now the SLP reintroduced the VAT back on formal expenses again. And you're telling me Labor putting people first. So it seems like Chasney, based on what he's saying, we got to look at it, removed the VAT from formal expenses, and it was reintroduced by the SLP administration. We got to look into that. Go ahead, my friend.
Chasney had also decreased, after Labor, Kenny had brought up our licenses and VAT and introduced 15% VAT, and Chasney decreased all of this. Plus, none of us paid property taxes. Up to a day like today, we're not paying property taxes. Guess why? Because Chasney removed it.
Oh, he did?
He was the one who gave us the break, yes.
Oh, that's good.
For 5 years, and it has gone into the Labor government. And I need to check whether they have reinstated the property tax.
I don't.
They were
because
not the ones who did it.
I don't think they did, because I heard in the House that they were saying that people don't. They were actually boasting about it, that nobody pays property
Well,
tax or something like that.
Yeah, but they didn't do it. It wasn't. Isn't that what Labor does? Doesn't Labor try to take credit for everything that Chasney has done? Shabbat, people, open your eyes. Cabot, sorry, Cabot. Cabot. And don't tell me Lucians don't know about Cabot. These people marched. These people made noise. Today, nothing is wrong with Cabot, but Cabot is still the same. Same funding, same payment back to NIC. Well, they paid much quicker, so we did not make the interest rates we were supposed to make. We
But
did
why-
not make
why
the
the
country
S-
did make the.
But why are the SLP supporters saying that the Cabot development is a bad deal for St. Lucians? I'm trying to figure it out. If they got a loan from the NIS,
No. They said that before. Right now, not a word.
well, guess what?
Not a word. Cabot is the best thing that happened.
Well, the supporters are still not informed, because they're thinking that it's a bad deal still, while the politicians are saying it's the best deal that we've ever had.
Well, let me tell you something. You see, they fed the people that it was a bad deal. And right now, they're the ones kissing up to Cabot and making Cabot very comfortable in St. Lucia. The same bad deal
Hey, Anthony, how
that
are you?
Chasney had made.
Yep.
Today they're kissing up to the same Cabot. Sandals. People, are you forgetting? How short are our memories in St. Lucia? Or do we have selective memory? Selective memory loss and selective memory when we want to have it.
Yeah, this person
What
seems to
has
be my
Pierre
friend.
done?
I don't want to interrupt you, but the person Albert that I quoted from earlier. Now I believe he's a government worker, and let me just quote from him. He says, "But it appears that the pension differs from that of government workers who are pensionable by government. Some of us are still in that category, and the pension for us is 50% of the last active salary."
Yeah, some of us are still in that bracket. Which of y'all, the ones that were making the most money, right?
Mhm,
So Emma changed it
mhm.
to knock down the poorer people.
Wow. Wow.
Is that what he's trying to tell me? The law was changed so, and these people, they have to fight for their gratuity after working for all of their lives for government, because Emma changed the law. It should have applied to people who started working then, and not to those persons who started working in 1974
Yeah.
and 1979. But it applies to some of them.
Wow.
Actually, it applies to most of them. So tell Mr. Albert
Mhm.
to give us, because I will bring my facts.
Yeah, because
So
I
let
think
him
he's a
bring his
government. I
facts,
believe
because
he's a
I've got it.
government.
I just spoke to NIC.
Oh, you just did. Mhm,
I just did.
mhm.
I am actually querying, why was that law? Did that come into play? Who did it? Why did they do it? Because you cannot tell me someone who's been working all their lives for government in the medical field, today that the person has retired,
Yeah.
you're saying if the person is making more than $500 a month in pension, more than $500 a month, you will not pay their local medical bills in St. Lucia to the hospital?
Boy, and we know the cost
What's $500 a month?
you can't even get a band-aid at the
What is
hospital with that.
$600 a month?
Yeah.
What is $600 a month? We can't even survive on $1,500 a month in this country.
Let me ask you a question. I'm not sure if you
Barely can survive on $2,000 a month.
yeah, let me ask you a question. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the security industry. What are the salaries of an average security guard and gas attendants?
Well, I have just learned this past week that some security guards make $350. Hold on. I
Mhm,
do not want to tell a lie.
mhm.
$350. Did you tell me a month
Month.
or fortnight?
Mm.
$350, I think. Because I was arguing it and saying, no, that cannot be. That
It could be possible, because what the security company does is that they try to lessen the workers' hours. But they're being paid, by the way, these security companies are being paid enough to pay these workers good, you know.
No, but what they're doing is they're getting paid enough. However, they're paying the security guards a fraction
Yeah.
of what the actual contractor is paying them.
But I blame the businesses too, because if you have a security guard on your site and the security guard is not happy, then you have a problem. You have a problem. That security
And
guard.
I say that too, but when you contract a company,
Mhm.
whatever the company pays to that security guard really isn't your business.
Well, it would be
That's
mine if I
this
have a
person's
business,
contract.
you know, and I've been in the security industry, so I understand it very well, especially the armored section. You know, I would say to you that they're being abused. I
Well,
would love to see
armored
their
guards
pension.
are
I would love to
paid.
see their pension after retirement.
Exactly. What pension would these people have after retirement?
They got to work all their
What
life.
pension would these people have after retirement?
Yeah.
And I don't care what whoever on the platform, well, I shouldn't say I don't care. I want this person to get this right. Maybe your bracket in government,
Mhm.
they've offered you 50%. But there are lots of people out there, my friend, who gets 1/3 of their salaries at
Mhm.
the moment for their pension.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
And that was changed by MO. I mean, you telling me that people are paying NIC. Do you know how much land NIC has purchased? And I'm not saying NIC cannot make investments. Yes, you can. But my friend, if you're making investments for your corporation, you should return those investments, some of these investments to the people who have paid you. NIC, you've
That's right. That's it.
contributed for 30, 40 years of their lives.
That's it.
Because what you're doing now is scheming people.
Yep.
You're literally scheming workers to make money for your corporation, and they are not getting the benefits from it.
Yep. They're not benefiting.
So what's the point of paying NIC?
But
what is the point of paying NIC? What do you get?
But I believe that the NIC too should be invested in the St. Jude Hospital in healthcare in St. Lucia. They should invest. If they have excess money, invest in the healthcare system. I strongly believe they should.
No, they will buy so many buildings.
Yeah.
They will buy land all over St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm saying it because it's the truth.
Yeah.
They will own land all over St. Lucia. They will have buildings all over St. Lucia. But they will not see that it is fitting as a national insurance corporation
Mm-hmm.
who takes monies from people every month to invest in healthcare for St. Lucians.
That's right.
Where are the returns? NIC has invested in they've gone as far as trading on the world market.
Yep, that's a risk.
Where are the return on the investments that you use to better people's lives? Why are we paying NIC? Why?
That's a good question.
So we're just paying thousands of dollars from our pockets, thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars over a period of 35 to 40 years. Some people 45 years, 42 years. And you're telling me 45, some people 45 years. Yeah. 65 is pension age, minus 45, that is 20. A lot of people start working with government around 18, 19, 20, when they at the age of 18, 19, 20.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
And they've kept their jobs for so many years.
Yeah, man.
Why have these people invested so much money in NIC? What are the benefits? And NIC is a corporation that invests and makes money back with the monies that have been contributed by the layman.
Yes, and that's true.
By the workforce in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
And nobody is speaking about these things. Everyone is just sitting there. Oh, red, I red, whoosh, I'm yellow. Could you give your reasons? State reasons for being yellow and red. State reasons, and look at the reality of what happens when red is governing and when yellow is governing. And tell me who you're happier with, who your life is better with. And those persons who tell me, Labour, take off the red wool over your eyes, and also stop drinking red Kool-Aid. Because you're drugged. You cannot be for real. Have the dogs been brought back to our ports?
Yeah, I heard you
heard nothing.
We heard nothing about those dogs.
Okay.
That the officers
have they
are requesting.
Put the scanners back? Are those scanners fixed and have they gone back on the ports? No, they haven't. But our crime rate is, listen, we are the beginning of March. How many persons have we lost in St. Lucia?
I think it's more than 13, right?
Somebody said 10, but that's not the number. I think the actual number is probably 12 or 13.
I believe it's 13. Yeah.
And this is how many weeks in the year have we gone? 4, another 4. So let's say 8 weeks. Plus a week in March. Not even a full week, barely a week in March. So that's 8, 9 weeks, 13 people. So that means 1 point a piece of a person dead every single week in St. Lucia.
Yeah, that's a bad. It's a bad.
Every
start,
week we
yeah.
have a murder.
And guess what? All you're
And
hearing
our
is
government is saying nothing.
Yeah, what they're saying is let's have a day of prayer for one of our colleagues who got sick, but nobody is saying let's have a national day of prayer
Hypocrisy.
for the many families who are losing their loved ones, even on road accidents.
Hypocrisy.
My friend, guess what? You
Listen.
even have pothole workers who are going to fix potholes who are dying on our
I'm
roads.
getting knocked down.
They're dying on the very
I'm
road
getting knocked down.
that they are fixing. Something is wrong.
Precisely. And you're telling me that there's something normal about this?
Yeah,
And not a word.
not a
Instead
word.
of lashing out at Chastity and barking and making all the noise disrespectfully in our house, because this is our house, not yours.
Mhm.
You were put there to work for us. Instead of doing that, why don't you guys pay attention to the crime? Why don't you pay attention to people who their salaries are below there's no minimum wage, that cannot afford. The salary cannot meet their bills. Why don't you pay attention to getting a basket of goods like Barbados and taking off duties? And don't tell me Emma came up with a basket. It's not a basket.
Mm.
It is not a basket. Very few items. And these items are still expensive. Give us a full basket of goods. Why are we paying $17 at the pumps and don't tell me, the government needs taxes. The government can be innovative. Shasta didn't need to tax us when Kenny had left our coffers empty. Didn't Shasta need to come and tax us to make money? No. He needed to, but he didn't do it.
As a matter of fact, he reduced
He
that.
was innovative enough a leader to see other ways of creating employment and doing things for St. Lucians without taxing them to death. And this is the point that I need to bring across every time Labour Party is in office, because it's not power people. We have the power.
No. They're in power.
Office.
They're in power. When the UWP, they're in office. When the UWP is in, they're in office. But when the SLP is in, they're in power. Because that's how it looked
Well,
to
let
us.
me tell you something. They're not in power in my head.
Well, you check the house.
Because I have freed myself from mental slavery.
Well, check the
and
house.
they're not in power in my head. This is still a democratic country. So
And look at
we
Sky
can be
FM. Sky
squeezed.
FM can't even get a license up to now, and their applications that were submitted from months ago. So they're in power, it seems.
Well, didn't King tell them they will never get a license?
That's right. So they're in power.
Didn't King tell them that?
Yeah.
Didn't King tell them that? And we St. Lucians are sitting by and letting, St. Lucians, when our children, and I'm going to use our children as an example.
Yeah.
When our children bring home a pencil from school that is not theirs, in fact, do we check our children's bags to see, hey, what have you got in your bag? Let me see. Let's go through your bag. Let's clean up your bag, etc. Who gave you this pencil? Where did you get this from? When our children bring a pencil home that's not theirs, and we don't question it and we don't ask and they may have stolen it from another child, but we just treat it like it's normal. Then that child brings a notebook. We still treat it like, it's normal. Then that child brings a textbook. We still treat it like it's normal. We know we didn't buy the textbook. This child's not working. They can't afford the textbook. And then this child comes home with a sweater, a beautiful cardigan that is not hers or his. Do we question where did the cardigan come from?
Mm.
We are entertaining building a thief in our own homes.
Yeah.
And the problem gets bigger and bigger and bigger until that child one day gets arrested and is thrown in prison for theft.
Listen to me. These parents now in St. Lucia,
big
they're
robbery.
afraid. They are afraid of their children. They are totally afraid because they're seeing the guns in
Hold
their
on.
house and they can't say nothing about it. Many of them.
Okay.
Some of
Hold
them,
on.
they're being financed by these same thugs.
All right. Now listen to this. We have a government who has to work for us for the betterment of the people in the country.
Mhm.
But we have being fed little bit. The government does this without saying a word. Then they increase the gas on us and
Yeah.
bam, take it or leave it. That's what we're doing.
You don't have a
Then
choice.
electricity is increased. Take it or leave it. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
Then now they going to CCJ. They're changing our constitution. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger, people.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting bigger.
Yeah.
It's getting the problems. What they're doing is getting bigger. Are we going to sit here and let the same people we employ to do work to make our lives better destroy our lives the way they are? Are we going to continue to let them keep destroying us as a people?
Question.
Where are our voices? Where are the voices? When UWP was in governance, oh my goodness. Every week, I think there was a march. I'm exaggerating.
No, you're right. They were always complaining and always in the news. Remember that these guys before Mr. Shastner even had the press conference, they were having press conference like they were the government.
Yes.
You remember those days?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you don't hear
yes.
a word.
Pierre had all the answers, all the solutions, everything. Hilaire was there, Musa, this one, that one. They were all over. Oh, and the organizations, they were all out. Where's our medical fraternity in St. Lucia? Where's the medical board?
They're gone.
Where's the legal fraternity in St. Lucia?
Legal fraternity?
Where are National Trust people?
Oh.
Our pots are being sold.
Yep.
And don't tell me least
patrimony.
30 to 40 years is a sale, my friend.
By the way, as soon as the United Workers Party get into power, you're going to hear them. They're going to get off of life support.
You're telling me nobody is seeing that there's something wrong with what's happening in this country? The country is being treated like it's zombies we have in the house. Anything for a buck, yo. I'll sell Gopi Tor for you. Give me. I wouldn't be surprised if I hear they selling Gopi Tor, PGB Tor.
No, you wouldn't. No, I mean,
we'll
come
sell
on.
it. Give us a couple $1 million. We'll take it.
Yeah, we need it right now.
Take the people.
Yeah, the people would not know.
There's no innovation. Brother Garfield, let me give somebody else a chance. Listen, St. Lucian. Once and for all, we need to stand up to what is going on in this country, because it is only getting worse. Week after week, day after day, it's getting worse. We need to let our voices be heard. When we went to the polls to vote, etc., they loved it. They were put there to do a job. Yeah. Are they doing the job, St. Lucian? That's a question I have to ask you guys. And on that note, I shall say good evening or good night to everybody.
My friend, I wish you both of them good evening and good night. Thank you for calling. We shall talk in the morning, God's willing.
Okay, all righty.
Yes, my friends, there you have it. Our well-learned caller. And, she makes a lot of sense when she called here. But my question to you is, friends, are you better off than you were? That's the question. Are you better off than you were? And you understand my question. You understand my question. At the supermarket, are you comfortable with what you're seeing? Are you seeing the really long lines that you would see on Fridays? What is the mood in the country? Based on what I'm hearing, is that people are catching their tail. And when I say people, I'm speaking about the poor. I'm not concerned about the rich and those with their big governmental positions. The poor, they're getting poorer. And sadly, because of the poverty, they're going to be undernourished, both adult and children. These people can't afford to get vitamins for themselves or their children. They can't afford to eat a balanced meal every day. So in other words, you will have them eating the bread. And by the way, the price of bread have gone up. So now you'll have them eating half a bread and some tea, some bush tea, canal tea, or whatever you call it, dite kako, without milk, because the milk is expensive. How do you feel about that, about those people going to bed with uncertainty? How do you feel about that? That woman in Denver fighting for her life cannot afford to get to Martinique or Barbados or Trinidad, can't afford to go out. And when she goes to the hospital, she is told, we don't have bed, go home, or we don't have bandage. Caller, you're on the air.
Good evening, sir.
Hey, Mr. Barbuda, welcome to the ring.
No, Mr. St. Lucia, Mr. St. Lucia.
Sorry, Mr. St. Lucian.
That lady. Tell that lady to call back, man. I can listen to that lady all night, man. Tell that lady to call back.
She's locked in. Yeah.
Listen, there's breaking news for you.
Talk to me, sir.
I heard through the grapevine that they want the people in the CDCs to move out, and they're giving them $2,500, and they have to find a place for themselves.
Yeah, I got that news too, man, but I didn't put it out. Yeah.
Okay, what are you holding back for? What are you holding back for?
You're right, we should not be holding back.
What's wrong with your Flobos, boy? I tell you, Flobos, you're a girls' guide, boy. You're a girl. Flobos, a girls' guide association.
We got to take off our dresses and put on our pants.
You'll have stuff on SFP and you're just holding back. And man, I ain't saying nothing yet. What's wrong with y'all, boy?
Yeah.
SFP supporters have come on the world stage and they don't even have facts. They lying and they're putting out there. Y'all have the facts. Y'all have the facts. And y'all say the word. Y'all have something else, man. Y'all have something else. You're not even Boy Scouts. You're a Girls Guys Association, man.
Well, now, man, based on what I see with the Flabo, man, they're alive, they're fired up, and they're ready to go. They got their boots on.
Well, the minute you start to give the Flabo, listen to me. I listen to the radio station, and I hear talk show host saying, oh, I know something about them, but I ain't calling no names. You don't hear that? Don't tell me you don't hear that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You don't hear that?
Yeah, but
I hear that all the time.
My friend Timothy liked to do that.
For instance, Guy Joseph. The great Guy Joseph. I think one of the most intelligent men on the planet.
Yeah.
Every time SFP gets into power, they rattle him, investigated him, they're doing this to him, they're doing that to him, they're doing next. Guess what? He have all the facts on them.
Oh, yeah.
But he ain't saying a word.
That's right.
He ain't saying a word. Huh? What kind of nonsense is that? He better get out of politics, man.
He's scheduled for this show sometime soon, you know. So we'll press him on those matters.
Flobo have
Yeah.
Flobo have enough stuff on SFP that could fill up a whole library,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they don't say nothing. Me, I take it out to the bone. I let them get away with nothing. If I got my facts, nah. SFP doesn't have facts. Lies. Let me tell you something, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Has SFP ever produced a good leader? Huh? I'm asking you. Has SFP ever produced a good leader?
Well, some people are
Who has
saying
that?
Mr. Kenny Anthony, but when you look at View Fort, you got to think twice.
And listen to me, man. What people in slums? I can listen to people that live in slums, man. I can listen to people that live in slums. I can listen to them. Kenny Anthony backed up the damn catch when he said something happened. You know what he said that happened? He backed up the damn country.
Hmm.
That's what he didn't say.
Wow.
That's what the people are smart enough. They're smart enough because Kenny knew that. Kenny just say, I can tell them something happened. And they're smart enough to ask what happened. You know what? He banked up the country because if you cannot borrow, nobody can lend you no money. Nobody lend you no money. What that means, you banked up the damn country.
Hmm.
And you're able to pay back. That's what he done. You're gonna be the rocket scientist. I ain't been to seminary. I only been to Anglican. I ain't do that. That's common sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Promo's got to take those guys to the sword. Promo's got to go down tongue, but I was assembly, and put pressure on that government.
Well,
By the thousands.
the folks are being asked tomorrow to show up in support of Mr. Shastney
Oh,
outside the house.
tomorrow, sir, that's a bogus guy zombie government. If you leave those guys there for another 2 more years, all our assets will be gone. And you know what they'll be selling next?
Mhm.
They'll be selling the people.
Oh my God.
Telling them, oh, let's go to Dubai. And you know everybody want to go to Dubai. Everybody want to go to Dubai.
There's honey up there.
And when they go to Dubai, you know what? And when they go to Dubai and Qatar, look at the places. You know what happened there?
Talk to me.
You know what happened there, right?
No.
100 people in one room, and they pay you $2 or $5 a day. That's what goes on in Dubai, Qatar, those places, Saudi Arabia, those places. Okay,
Wow.
those people are screwed. Okay,
Wow. Wow.
what you living on the moon? Are you living on the moon? They hire Asians and South Africans. Okay.
Mhm.
And you find 50 and 60 of them in one room. All those stadiums they built during the World Cup, a lot of them died. A lot of them died.
But why? Let me ask you. But
A lot
why?
of them died.
Why are our government ministers always in Dubai? What is it about Dubai and St. Lucia? What's the relationship there?
They make it. I think they make it deals for themselves.
I don't understand.
They make it. They probably get it ready to. They probably get it ready for human trafficking.
Oh my
Probably
God.
telling people I could get you cheaper labor. You understand? I won't put that. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put nothing past that bogus guy, you know. That bogus guy, zombie government, don't put nothing past them, you know, man.
Well, based
They
on
sell you for $1.
what I see
Huh?
in the house, you know, you might be right. You can't, you know.
You say I might be right.
Well, I don't want to get in
Those guys
trouble with
sell
you.
everything they put their hand on.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys do not know how to generate revenue. That lady that was speaking just now, that lady, I can listen to that lady all night. She's fabulous.
She's one of
This
my
lady is
advisors, you
fabulous.
know.
Huh?
She's one of my advisors here on the network.
She should be.
Yeah.
She should be.
Very smart.
She's brilliant.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She what smart is an understatement. That word no. That word no. That lady,
She's among the great.
she's on the money.
Yeah.
And the people should be listening to that lady.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because the thing they can stay young, when you talk about the NIS and that kind of thing,
Yes.
what? That lady brilliant, boy. That
Yes.
lady wake me up, boy.
Oh yeah, she.
Well, it's true. I ain't got to worry about that government. That's a zombie government. That's a mongoose guy government. They're ruthless. If you die, you die. Watch that. The great man, the world's greatest leader,
Mhm.
Sir Alan Michael Shaftney, was insured every man, woman, and child for $75,000. Build us a hospital that's second to none.
Mm.
That's second to none. Fireproof, hurricane proof, earthquake proof, mold proof, helipad on top. You are acting down the road, helicopter slaps you up, drop your top of the hospital, and down to the elevator, and into the emergency. Right?
Mhm.
Not even a big bad Bermuda have that. Not even a big bad Bermuda. I told the president of the BIU of the union over here, BIU, that about 3 weeks ago. He said, "What?" He said, "What?" And I told him the things that going on in St. Lucia by the unions down there. He said, "What?" You know a lot of things those guys do down there be a riot in Bermuda? All hell will break loose.
Yeah.
All hell will break loose, you know, man. It's no joke, you know.
Yeah. Listen,
All hell will break loose long time.
yeah, the St. Lucian people
Let
are
me tell you.
just cool. They're just relaxed.
They want to be stupid.
Yeah.
If they want to be stupid, they could die in their stupidity. Believe me.
Well, you can't be dumb and
So
stupid
just
at the
say
same
what-
time.
So I was saying, the great man built a hospital there, and insured $75,000 to go with that for each man, woman, and child. And what happened? It's a box. So I say what I put us in a box. Anyhow, for the past couple of weeks, you had two ministers, two parliamentarians on government side,
Mm-hmm.
SFP side, that got sick. Where they went to? Martinique. Where they went to?
Yeah.
They went to a ball or they went to a triangular? Where they went?
Well, I'm sure the hospitals there are boxes.
So why they use so what happened to the boxes, the boxes? The
Well,
one in St. Lucia is
at
triangle,
least-
and there's triangle.
At least they can fix the box in St. Lucia so that at least we can put some stuff in it. We
Now,
can
when
get some
you-
services
now, when-
there.
No, they take helicopter and went to the box in Martinique. And when the people in St. Lucia get sick, they're so stupid.
But
Don't tell me they ain't stupid. They're
But how
stupid,
can you
know.
laugh? How can
They're
you laugh
really-
at your own health facility here? A good building, you laugh at it, but you always heading into somebody else's box. I don't understand these people.
Because, hold on, no. SFP knows that both solutions, especially Malawians, they are stupid and gullible.
Hmm.
SFP tell them do what I say, don't do what I say, don't do as I do. SFP goes to Martinique, right?
Mhm.
But over here they tell them go home and die. Let me show you. Let me give you another reference. During the COVID, the great man had 85 deaths,
Mhm.
which is nothing to brag about.
Yeah,
85 deaths
that's a lot. Yeah.
in a year and a half.
Yep.
When SFP got in 6 months, SFP had about 400 deaths.
Jesus.
You know what they told us?
Lord.
I can't do
400.
nothing. Go home and take care of yourself. Well, the great man had them in hotels, 3 or 4 meals a day, TV, the full work.
Listen, these
That-
people are comfortable.
Comfortable is an understatement.
Yeah.
That the press all over the world, Canada, America, were interviewing the great man. It's only when
And you know, and surprisingly,
This is what I'm trying to get
they're asking where the money gone. Where's the money gone? They don't realize that.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on.
Go ahead.
Before you get there, right?
Mhm.
The great man had the COVID real tight under control. COVID could penetrate the tall boy. And this man come and tell him I had a march on the streets of Castries.
Mhm.
With a big banner. The big banner, friends, you know what the big banner was saying? There's no COVID in St. Lucia.
But they said that
I-
was
and
not
that's what I
real,
mean.
you know. They said it was.
Don't listen to me. Garfield.
Yes, sir.
Reverend Garfield.
All right, yeah, so.
I took that picture.
Oh, you did?
I did that picture because I was showing someone. I was watching it this Sunday, and someone tell me, boy, take that picture. Take a picture of that. Take a picture of that. That will come in useful for you.
Wow.
And I did it. The person told me that. Take a picture of that banner. The person told me that. And guess what? I called you the next day, and I mentioned to Tim. Tim says not true.
Wow.
Guess what? I send the photo to Tim. I then send the photo to Tim. And I say, I doctor. My belly, listen, I can barely open up a computer. So my doctor something.
Wow.
I gotta tell, certainly one day I gotta tell people how you do this, how you do that. Because I'm very illiterate to the computers. I told my doctorate. A big banner marching the streets of Castries, thousands of them saying, no confidence solution. Yay! And this to back it up, this other white woman told, oh, this black woman saying, we don't want to worry about it, solution. We as black people, we don't.
Oh yes, I remember that one. She said, we as black people, we don't want white. We don't want.
That's what she said that, on our march,
Yes.
And I tell them that.
Yeah.
I tell them that, and it's someone doctored. You really believe that doctored? The Bogus guy doctored that?
No,
because solutions are gullible.
I believe you.
Solutions are a gullible people, a stupid gullible people. When you're stupid, you're gullible. When you're gullible, you're stupid. They go hand in hand. You're gonna be the rocket scientist.
Wow. Those were serious times, though.
They know solutions so stupid that now they offer the people in CDC $2,500 of hearing to the grapevine to get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? To sell the land to some Trinidadians that want to do business on there. Trinidadians. Are you laughing? You think that's a joke? You're the American. I feel all right. You laughing?
Listen to me. I'm on the ground right now. I am on the ground, so I have protection. I have your right to laugh because this is foolishness.
You said Lucia right now?
No, I am on the ground in the United States in an unknown location. I'm in Studio 2 because Studio 1 is not working.
Boy, let me tell you something. Do you know how stupid our people are? Do you know how stupid our people are? I have a couple of cats there, but I got more brains than them. Serious. I got a couple of cats, and if most solutions more smart than my cats, something wrong. I will bet my life to that. They're smarter than my cat.
Oh, let's just pray that they wake up and get some sense because.
No, pastor, I'm a church man, but I'm not a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
You are more deep in the church than me. I go to church every Sunday. We're in Fullerton, but that doesn't mean I'm a Christian. I call me a church goer. But I read my Bible every day.
Mm-hmm.
I read a chapter of my Bible every day.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what chapter I like to read too?
Which one?
Proverbs.
Aye.
Proverbs talks a lot about foolish and stupid people.
That's right.
You cannot do nothing with them.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
Can you do anything with stupid and foolish people? Yes or no, sir?
A matter of fact, you are asked to not walk with them.
Oh God. you hear that now? So why you can't walk with them? Tell the world why you can't walk with them.
No, but that's the wise man giving you wisdom, you know. And then I mean that kind of thing rubs off, you know.
But here we have the great man.
Mm-hmm.
The great man, the world's greatest leader.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember there was a financial summit going on? I think it was Geneva. Can't remember.
Mm.
It was 1,500 delegates.
No.
Billionaires and financiers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I say? Billionaires and financiers. 1,500 of them.
Mm.
The only man from the Caribbean, I repeat, the only man from the Caribbean that was invited was the great man, Alan Michael Shaftesbury. Yeah. And he wasn't invited there as a spectator, man. He was invited there to address them. And when he finished, when he was speaking, You could have dropped a dime on the. You could have dropped a dime on the carpet to help with the drop.
Wow, wow.
Bill Gates and all those, and the guy from Bill Gates and what's the guy name? All those billionaires from Facebook, all those guys. Your good friend. I got the airlines in St. Lucia. What's his name? What's that guy name? From England. He's British.
Yeah, I know who you're
what's his
talking
name?
about. Virgin Atlantic.
Richard Branson.
Yeah.
The great man and all those guys, the guys they got up here and they're pulling their chin. The great man, Salah, Michael Shasta, have those guys, Bill Gates, all them pulling the chin, man. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
you see what man easy? And here we have a man that, should I say his bread is buttered already? His bread is buttered already.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the man loves his country and people so much that he's trying to bring them up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know those jokers, those SFP, a bunch of losers. Could you believe that?
Yeah.
They voted for SFP more times. SFP never produced a good leader. And they vote for SFP every term, every election. If they vote for SFP, the last election, going on. My favorite buddy, a buddy of mine in St. Lucia, we follow the elections. And he is drinking, right? I don't drink anymore. And he has his son. I said to him, I said, Ocho, don't be surprised these people vote out. Shasta, you know. The man, don't say that, man. Don't say that. I said, don't say that. And then, he said, he tell me, don't say that, man. Gaso. Don't say that. Sorry. But he's drinking and he's feeling nice. I say, Ocho, are you serious? You serious? I said, I'm very serious. Don't be surprised if the Lucians vote out Shah. He said, well, what did you say that? Because I know they are stupid, gullible people. He went quiet. And when the count started coming, man, listen, I didn't even know when he leave the phone. Serious.
Yeah, that was
He said,
a bad night.
he tell me, boy, you told me. He said, boy, you told me that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't put up a pass solution. Solution to vote for SFP again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right.
They go through all this hardness and roughness.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing for them. They love that. SFP knows they love that. SFP knows they love all of that. In a country like Bermuda,
they will eat
they won't
sand.
be coming back to this country. They won't be coming back to Bermuda.
Nope.
They won't be walking. Listen to me. They won't be walking the streets. I could name about 15 statements that Pierre made and Hilaire said that they will not walk. They will not be walking. None of the ministers, none of the SFP members will walk in the streets in Bermuda. None of them, not one, will walk in the. I said walk in the streets. Because I say, listen, we have a union on here. You don't got to be scared of the government. You got to be scared of that union.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
The Bermuda industry. Do your investigation. You think I'm joking? And let me tell you something. First time in my life I ever seen I spoke to the president 2 or 3 Sundays ago. I came from church and I met him in a supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
I met him in a store. And he and I was chatting. I told him some things and he smiled and laughed. This is the first time I ever see that man laugh and smile. First time ever. He don't smile, he don't laugh. He doesn't. And you know what he tell me?
Yeah.
He said, man, I gotta go to my wife and get this child around laughing. Then we should make this man laugh. Yeah, you know what he asked me? He asked me, did you tell him about the union over here? I did, sir. Did you tell him about me? I did, sir. I tell him all the time. And they think it's a joke. Well, tell him come over and come and see for themselves. Come and see. You have no saying, Bermuda.
Yeah.
Listen to me. The BIU call the shots in Bermuda. The union call the shots. Tell the government what to do. At one stage, the government said they're going to take off the taxes off the some food stuff coming in, right? For the port. You know what the union said?
Mm-hmm.
No, not some. Take it off all. Not some.
Yeah, there's no
You see the
union. You don't have any strong union there in St. Lucia. They're more political.
No. Boy, listen. the most fair thing in St. Bermuda is the BIU. The most fair thing. They're both, you know, so they're fierce. Not even the police. They're more fierce than the policeman.
Yeah.
More
Well,
fierce than the government.
that's it, Lucia.
When they tell you jump, when they tell you shut up,
Hmm.
when you, well, I remember one time this Asian lady called me. She's a teacher.
Mhm.
She said to me, "But Lana, how did the usual the government could how usually could work for the people and they're so close together?" I said, "Let me tell you something. And they're real close together, you know. They
Mm.
eat, sleep, and drink together, you know. You won't think so? They eat, sleep, and drink together. And let me tell you something. I said, don't worry about that." She said, "Don't worry about that." I said, "Don't worry about that."
Mhm.
2 or 3 days later, she called me back. I didn't listen to the news. She said, "You heard?" I said, "Hey, what? The usual and the government clash." I said, "Okay, so what I tell you?" And she, guess what? You know who's going to win? I tell her, you know who's going to win? The union is going to win, not the government.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
The union tell you what you have to do. The union over here tells the government what. No matter your JLP, RLP, JLP, KLP, NLP, don't care what P you are. The union tell you what you got to do.
Well, that's the
And that's
democracy
it.
that's the democracy of the nation, you know. That
You better believe it.
yeah,
You better believe it.
and I mean we got to.
And no, you got people like John Peters.
Mhm.
John Peters that, no, listen to me. I'm not against foreigners in my country. I'm not against that. Understand me, Pastor. I'm not against foreigners in my country.
Yeah.
I against foreigners in my country when it's stopping want to stop progress and development. People like John Peters,
Yep.
John Peters, to see of the National Trust, and Richard Peter King. Those guys have to be deported. I stand with my guns, and I can tell the great man, I got to remind the great man they have to be deported if we get in power. Those guys have to go. They have to go.
So you're going to deport them to
Why?
Barbuda?
I don't care where they go. I don't care where they go. That's their business.
Once they get out.
Listen to me. They won't come. They won't come here.
But
They won't
yeah.
come here. Believe me.
But I gotta go
They will
now,
not come to
though.
Bermuda.
Yeah.
Okay?
I gotta go now.
Those
Nice.
guys are stopping progress, and
Yeah.
they are stopping for that. People John Peters, probably the contractor, big contractor, calling my post state-of-the-art hospital a box.
A box.
Is he
Joker.
not? If you're selling Bermuda, if we are still at the Bermuda, you will have breath in him.
That's right.
I can tell you that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the fact.
Yep. But
Right. That lady, I was sure. I like to hear that lady. That lady call back, man. Call her, tell her call back.
she's always calling, yeah. So we'll have her do an
I don't
entire
listen.
hour.
I didn't ask you that. I tell you, tell her to call back, man.
Okay, no problem, boss. I will.
You look, you going for a jog, man. Let the woman call back, man.
I know, I will. Okay, but have a beautiful night, Miss Brother St. Lucian.
Now we talking. Now we cook with it. We cook with gas, though.
He's a man of
We cook
wisdom,
with no
man.
coals, though. We cook with gas, though.
I know.
All right, buddy. Cool.
All right, brother. Nice, beautiful night. Thank you. Folks, there you have it, Mr. Barbuda, and we will close the program now. Thank you for joining us. May God bless you. Stay focused. Those of you who are going out, be very careful tomorrow. Those of you who are going to the to support Mr. Shastney, go out and be peaceful and let him know that you're there with him. He will appreciate that very much. God bless you, folks, and have a beautiful night. Thank you for being here with us on Caribbean American News Network.
Thank you.